There are some walks in this game that you always remember, like the first time you took these steps to this tee box. Today we have a very special program in store for you as we return to an old friend, the stunning, the beautiful Arcadia Bluffs, not only to celebrate the greatness of the Bluffs Course, but to introduce you to the new South Course like you've never seen it before. Let's get things started.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, celebrating our 20th season of shining the spotlight on the best places to stay, play, and enjoy the greatest game on earth. Stay connected 24/7 to MGL on Facebook, Twitter, our weekly radio show, and podcasts on the all-new 4golfersnetwork.com.
When you see that unmistakable view down the 18th fairway with Lake Michigan off in the distance, when you look off to the sides and see waves upon waves of golden fescue, you know there's something special taking place, right? Hi, I'm Bill Hobson, and thank you for joining us for today's program. If you didn't know already, we've come to Arcadia Bluffs, your final visual cue, the iconic Adirondack chairs, where day after day and evening after evening, people come and sit here to create memories, to create traditions, and to create their own Arcadia moments. Well, now the invitation is yours to come and create your own special brand new Arcadia experience, a tradition, those memories that you thought could never be matched. Well, now, along with the Bluffs Course, about 1.5 miles away, those white chairs are waiting for you at the beautiful Arcadia Bluffs South, where a links-style golf experience and a stunning new clubhouse are ready for you. We've been waiting for a couple years to bring you the full story of the South Course at Arcadia Bluffs, and I'm so excited to head out onto the course in just a couple of moments. But first, let me welcome back into the program our longtime friend, Bill Shriver, the president of Arcadia Bluffs, because this is indeed an exciting time.
It is, Bill. Welcome back, and welcome to all your viewers.
Well, here we are in front of a building that wasn't here that long ago. There's been a busy bit of progress made at the South Course to really round out this experience.
We've had a lot of activity over the last 6 months, and we're excited that the South Course Clubhouse is now open, and it really completes the experience of visiting Arcadia Bluffs. And you now have the full Bluffs experience, and you now have the full South Course experience.
They are two very different golf experiences, but one excellent overall destination. You get the question a lot, I'm sure. How different is golf on the Bluffs from golf at the South?
Well, our guests tell us that both are equally enjoyable, but the South is a different type of experience that you just can't get anywhere else. And the thread that ties everything together at Arcadia is the standards that we hold, and the guest interaction that we have, our service standards, and our commitment to excellence.
I should have known better than to think when I first heard about a new course opening that they'll probably build a cozy little comfortable clubhouse. You've built a beauty here with a full restaurant, full pro shop, and even more. What's it like inside?
It's exceptional. It's very warm. It's very inviting. We're excited that the facility will be open year-round. So we're looking forward to seeing it during the holidays when it's all decorated for Christmas. But again, just like at the Bluffs and the main clubhouse, you have that feel that you're someplace special.
And you also have that reminder with the Adirondack chairs that you can see behind us that you can kick back and take in some beautiful views. At the Bluffs, it's looking over number 18 and out to the water. Here, it's looking over basically the entire golf course.
It is. It's definitely a different look, but it's just as spectacular, and we couldn't be happier with the way everything has come out.
How do you describe what Dana Fry did here with this design?
Well, Dana was brought in for a specific reason, because we knew that he could work well within our team, and what he was able to bring with his experience of being all over the world and tie that into Mr. Postma's vision, and of course Warren Henderson's input into the project as the project manager. Jim Bluck is our director of agronomy. The whole team came together and just put together a really special place.
Without a doubt, you've heard an awful lot about the Arcadia Bluffs South Course, designed by Dana Fry. And we've been here for bits and pieces of it over the past couple of years, but now it is fully grown in. It is ready to rock and roll, and I couldn't be more excited than to take you on a tour of all 18 holes. Now, to help us as our tour guide is Director of Golf, Chris Sevier. How are you, sir?
Hi, welcome, sir.
This is going to be
Great
fun.
to have you.
And here we are on the first tee of this Dana Fry masterpiece. Start us off with a little strategy tip on number one.
Number one, so we need to hit the ball in the fairway.
Now that part I knew.
Right. We gotta play angles. This golf course is about angles. It's where that flag is at, where the trouble is at. We're gonna have to control our golf ball not only, in the air, but also on the ground, and where that ball is gonna roll out to is the key to this golf course.
You used a key phrase. You said in the air and on the ground.
Yes, sir.
This is links golf. This is a very different experience from the Bluffs course, where you can play it in the air a little bit more reliably. Here, you need to get accustomed to running the ball onto most of the greens.
You're correct. And today there's a little breeze, as always, which is, very true of most link-style golf courses. Very true here too. The wind blows pretty much every day, so you need to control that golf ball as much as possible.
I remember seeing this first green from the moment it was kind of roughly shaped and realizing how huge it is, but also how squared off the edges are. Exactly. It's a different visual for golfers in the States, and it's also a different experience if you happen to hit your ball to those edges. We'll see that theme throughout our round.
Every hole is going to play that way. It's very true to play to the middle of the green. There's not a lot of trouble in the middle of the green. The troubles are on the edges. So your ball is going to, a lot of times you hit a good shot, it may catch an edge, it may roll into a bunker or into a swale of some kind. It's definitely some strategy to playing this golf course, thinking your way around it.
Love the first hole, love the look at that green from up above, and now we step on the number 2 tee, which isn't a terribly long, but it requires some precision.
For sure. The big hitter's going to definitely try and hit it all the way down as close to the green as he can. The short hitter's going to play a little more strategically. Going to watch that cross bunker that's out there about 150 yards. Going to play a little bit left of it. And from there, it's just a little wedge in there, or a little short iron, and you get to that green, it gets a little tougher.
I was going to say, you make it sound simple, a little wedge in, but you better put that wedge in the right spot.
In the exact right spot. Any edges of these greens, it's going to funnel into those bunkers, which...
And that's one of the defenses of this place, right? Along with the breeze
sure.
that we're experiencing now.
We get that every day here. It's definitely a link-style golf course. There's as we play around, there's no trees to block any of this wind, so you're in the elements.
Well, as number 2 is relatively short, number 3 has some teeth. If you're playing from the tips, it's 604 yards.
Exactly.
Thankfully, we weren't back there. Tell us about number 3.
So number 3, great par 5. You got to keep that shot to the left as much as possible off the tee. Then, after that, you got to really pay attention to where those cross bunkers are as you get a little closer in that 150 to 120 yard range to leave yourself a good little pitch shot into that green. Which, again, the greens, I know we've talked about it a lot. You got to hit in the right spot. As we saw from my ball, didn't quite get it up to that first level, and came right back down.
I was in the bunker, hit one a little bit short, and there it went right off the front. So precision is going to be the key. And again, this is a throwback. This is an old-style golf course that makes you play your irons very, very precisely.
Very well. Yeah, you got to watch the ground game.
We're going to jump ahead to number 5, which is the first par 3 we see here on the South Course. What challenge did Dana Fry, the architect, lay out for us here?
So this par 3 is a beast. We need to find that putting surface as much as possible.
It's a big green.
It's a big green.
But it's a long ways off.
But it's a long ways off. It's a couple hundred yards.
I'm thinking a 3 here and run is a pretty good bargain.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It's for some players, you're trying to get out of here with at worst case, a 4.
Earlier, the par 5 third hole, definitely not reachable in 2 from the back tees, but we come to number 6, and happens to be kind of downwind today. It's a little over 500 yards.
Helps.
You can make up some territory.
You can, with a chance to go for it in 2. But again, that accuracy with that second shot is going to be a premium, because you got to hit it in the right spot.
Well, there is even some challenge off the tee for your first shot. There's a couple bunkers within range, and all the way on the journey of this hole, there's some bunkers in play, sort of creeping in from the sides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not that you can't always see from the tee as well, so you gotta pay attention. Get that ball in the fairway off the tee, and then, depending on what angle you are on that fairway, kind of determines whether you can go for it or not. Obviously, a little easier when you're on that right-hand side, maybe, because the green does open up on the right-hand side as opposed to the left. Hit it up that right side, you can probably scoot it on there.
And I've been told a number of times that I'm a sort of a slow learner, but I keep missing the edges of these greens and creating some havoc for myself. You've got to be accurate on those approach shots, even if it's a third shot that's pretty short with a wedge in your hand.
You have to be. It's You know, these greens, you're not spinning it a lot out here. So it's not going to hit that check. It's definitely going to roll out. And you got to play for that.
We come to number 7, which is a shorter par 4, especially considering the firm conditions downwind. A big hitter like you should be tapping in for eagle. Now, if you're shorter like me and you pick the wrong angle, and again, this course is about angles, there's not a great number of options to land the ball close.
Exactly. Where that flag's at, right side, you have to stay on the left.
Yeah.
To keep it on that, you know, to keep it on that green.
It's another example of how you can take the driver out and you can let it eat. But again, if you pick the wrong angle in, you'll scramble to make a par.
It may not be driver all the time off the tee.
I haven't hit a single tree yet. I have not lost a ball in the water, and I'm still over par.
Well, you've hit a lot of good shots. It's, I think just those bounces have gotten you.
When we come to number 8 then, a par 3, we see a unique green from straight overhead.
Absolutely.
It has a bit of a hook to it. So today we get to play with the pin in the middle.
Pin in the middle.
But if that thing is back left, look out.
I think you still go to the middle.
Yeah, you better.
You know, as we've seen, these greens are firm, and you got to hit it. Just hit it in the center, and we have to get it up there because there's a false front. So unless we want to
chip a few times,
yeah, we need to get it up on top of that green.
All right, Chris, we round out the first 9 with a rather stout par 4. This 9th hole has some teeth to it.
It does, and it's you know, it's into the wind off the tee, and again, that fairway is a premium. You have to keep that ball in play.
I found the fescue here to be a rather enjoyable experience if I didn't want to make a par.
You're exactly right. It's yeah, you got to keep your ball out of there as much as possible. It just brings bogey into play if you get it in there.
It also reminds me, though, of how beautiful the fescue throughout the course helps frame each of the holes. When it's in its golden peak, it's pretty cool stuff if you're not in it.
Right.
Now, I'm trying to get better at recovering from missing the greens off the edges. Left myself a difficult up and down here on 9.
You gotta work on where that ball is going. You know, where it finishes. It's not always where it lands on the ground, but you know, yours was landed around the green, but look where it went to.
A lesson that I'll learn at some point, maybe when we get to the back 9, which we will show all of you a bit later in the program. We'll welcome Chris back in here in a few minutes as we make the turn. But when we come back, it's time to take a look at some of the lodging opportunities and dining options here at Arcadia Bluffs. We're back with more after this. Welcome back to the program and our focus on Arcadia Bluffs. Now, while the majority of today's show is directed to the brand new South Course, and we'll get back there in just a few moments for the back 9, we would be missing the full story if we didn't spend some time here at the flagship golf course, the Bluffs. It was in 1999 that this masterpiece made its appearance on the national scene, and ever since then, the reputation has continued to grow. Zach Schultz is the head golf professional here. How are you?
Good, Bill. Thank you for joining us here at the Bluffs Course today.
Well, I'll come here anytime I can, and especially with the view like we see here on number 3 and then throughout the rest of the golf course. What a special place this is. How do you describe it to those who have never been?
Well, we're at a good point because number 3 here is kind of my welcome to Arcadia moment. You have the highest point on property. You can see just about anywhere from the spot here. It goes down to the water, and great par 5 to get going.
This hole is also characteristic of a lot of the golf course in that from a visual standpoint, it looks more imposing than it plays. There's a lot of room to land your tee shot. Some people can get to this green in 2, although it looks like it ends maybe in Wisconsin. Walk us through some of the visuals that you get on Arcadia.
Arcadia is visually deceptive, we'll put it that way. With the short pins and the wide bunkers, it kind of plays tricks on the eyes. When you get out there, you kind of realize how generous the fairways actually are. You don't have a whole lot of danger to get into from the tee box. It's when you get up to the greens and get around those sand traps, the course starts playing mind games with you and makes it play a little more difficult.
One of the stories that we're here to tell is about the difference in the golf experience between the Bluffs and the South Course. We're covering that on the South, but what's the difference in your mind between these 2 properties?
For me, the Bluffs Course is all about the visuals, plus the golf as well. But yeah, from anywhere on property, you just see that lake, and it makes it just seem like a beautiful piece of property. The fairways, greens, tees, they're always in great shape. Kind of feels like for as much play that we have out here, it kind of feels like you have the whole course to yourself, just how pure the conditions are for us.
There's also some differences in approach of how you play the game. You can play a little bit more of an air game here than you can at the South, where it's intended for you to bump and run a lot of shots up. You can do that here on the Bluffs, but ideally you're going to try to put it in the air because the greens are a little bit softer and more receptive.
Quite a bit more receptive. A few of these greens you can really attack the pin and get the ball to stop, and a few of the pins out there you can kind of use the green undulation to your advantage. You can play that bump and run and watch the green come around and pull it towards the pin.
In just a couple of moments we'll head back to the South Course at Arcadia to show you the second 9, but before we get there, I'm thinking about this unmatched 36 holes of incredible golf, and the thought struck me, Mr. Shriver, that more and more people are going to want to stay here so they can play both courses, and you've got all of those options covered.
We do. We have 3 lodging options available for our guests now, Bill. We have the main lodge, which offers king beds, 15 rooms above the main clubhouse. We have the Bluffs Lodge, which is 21 rooms with 2 queen beds, and then of course the 4-bedroom, 4-bath cottages that are available as well.
And every single one of them is done to the T. I don't know how many stars you could put on it, but on a 5-star scale, there are 6.
Well, thank you. We take great pride in the facilities that we have and the maintenance of them, because we know that people have choices, and we want it to be the right choice when they come. And everything that we do, from the lodging to the golf to the food, has to be exactly right.
And it's all part of this memory-making experience in Arcadia. It's the playing of the golf, it's the dining, and it's where you're going to stay, and every bit of it has to add up to those 6 stars on the scale of 4.
It does, and it's been referred to as the Arcadia experience, as you know, and we wake up every day and do our absolute best to make sure that the Arcadia experience is world class.
Welcome back to our look at Arcadia Bluffs' new South Course, and we now turn our attention to the inward, or the final 9, starting on number 10. So let me welcome back in my co-host for the Bluffs South Course, Chris Sevier, the director of golf.
Sir.
I'm doing well. The front 9 was a blast. I hope I learned a few things along the way. So here we are now, ready to start the back. Number 10 green is right behind us. What is that first hole on the back like?
We just got to keep it in play, keep it in the fairway. It's into the wind today, so you know we came up a couple clubs short. But as long as you keep it kind of in the front of this green, you're going to have either a putt or a fairly easy chip. We just can't get it left or right of this green.
Now there's also a bit of a learning process, because the greens are not like many golfers are accustomed to, where you can hit it and you can throw a dart and it stops. They're firm, they're
Correct.
fast. It's as if we are playing overseas.
It's link style.
So link style golf, which means if you short side yourself like I did and you try a flop shot, you really don't have much chance.
You have really no chance at all. I would say the best players in the world would struggle on that shot where you just hit from.
So we now turn around on the 11th hole, a long par 5, but the wind is with us.
Wind is helping. Again, link style golf course. It's going to hurt you on some holes, and it's going to help you on a lot. And this one's definitely going to help you.
What's the key to success on 11?
Just let it rip right down the middle of the fairway. Give you a good chance to get that ball in the green in 2, or really, really close. It's a good chance at birdie on this hole.
Now, Chris, this is my first look ever at number 12, a beautiful little par 3 with a lot of factors in play. We've got wind, we've got elevation, we've got a bunker in front, and a horseshoe green. This is pretty special.
Yeah, you got to be on the right side of the green, or either chipping on the green or playing it around the bunker, because it's right in the middle. You got to hit in the right spot.
And again, that estimation game of where should I land this one, because we're downwind. That changes the equation constantly, which means I don't think you could ever be bored playing the South Course.
Oh, not at all.
Because the calculations are always continuing, along with the calculation of user error, like I've been dealing with.
Well, that's true for everybody. You got to know your yardages and know where to hit it. And again, you're playing on where that ball's going to bounce.
Before we jump ahead to the beautiful par 5 14th here on the South Course, I had to stop for a minute and show you this stunning green complex on number 13. As you can see from the air, this is the only green on the course you can't run a shot into. There are bunkers protecting the front, and the whole thing sits down in a little bowl, which brought to my creative mind a putting competition. Me, your humble TV host, against an established PGA professional. And at stake here, dessert. And here at Arcadia Bluffs, dessert means one thing: Ruthie's Delight for closest to the hole. Here we go. I'm looking for this to be somewhere in a 1 to 2 foot circle. Oh, I'm going to be severely disappointed. Please turn right and go a lot faster. Okay? Wow, that's a good 20 feet away. I like Chris's chances here. Fire away. I'm already digging into my wallet to buy some dessert. Now he's got to beat me. He's a PGA professional. There's no reason this, yeah, look at that. Right inside, better speed, turning right. Well done. Dessert's on me. Ruthie's Delight is
That's the best dessert there.
It is the best dessert there. Let's move ahead to the par 5, 14th hole as we continue our tour of Arcadia South. So when we get to 14, we have another stout par 5 facing us, generally back into the breeze, right?
Absolutely. It runs east-west, a little uphill into the green, and it's the highest kind of point on the golf course. So you get to the 14th green, it's a great view. You can see the entire property, clubhouse, really all the way to the 3rd green. So the fescue, it's gorgeous.
Your tee shot, I think you're able to carry the big bunker you see from the tee. I was a little bit short of it, but either way, it's unlikely to be getting all the way home in 2, right?
I would suspect that, yeah, because it's very, I mean, I'm hitting a fairway wood. For me to hit a fairway wood that precise isn't going to happen a whole lot. So best play is just to hit a little short, a little chip shot, and try to get up and down.
And as we've seen on pretty much every hole out here, the greens are guarded on the sides by some bunker action, which I have a knack for finding.
Yeah, you have today. Yeah, you just gotta, try and keep it out of there as much as possible. It's, where that ball's gonna bounce and it's gonna roll, and if it's anywhere close to the edge of the green, odds are it's probably gonna roll into some place you don't want it to be in.
I enjoy number 15. It's a shortish par 4. You've got some strategy off the tee, especially today's hole location being tucked right behind a bunker protecting the front. So off the tee, I'm gonna try to stay to the left side. Take us through some of the challenge of 15.
So 15 have to stay on the left side, depending where that flag's at. And yeah, you hit a perfect drive on that hole. Had the green opened up on that side for you, definitely. I hit mine to the right and had to fly it over that bunker. Didn't do a very good job and caught that little swale in the left part of the green and almost ended up in the bunker.
As we prepare to tackle the 16th hole, this par 3 in today's breeze from the tips, which thankfully we're not playing, it's 248 yards. I would be hitting driver. What's the strategy for this stout par 3?
So strategy is to hit it a little up the right-hand side. If you hit a little short, so be it. You just want to try and avoid left as much as possible. As you can see when we get up there, it's a long ways down there that green sits up from that left-hand side, a good 15, 20 feet it seems. And yeah, you just got to hit it a little short. Hopefully you miss it short or you hit it on the green.
Now you step onto the 17th tee. It's a beautiful par 4. It's got some challenge to it. You better take note of a couple of things. One, the step bunkers on the left side and where the hole is located. So give us a little strategy on 17.
Yes, sir. So you need to stay away from them step bunkers as much as possible. They guard that left-hand side, so you need to be middle to middle right to really stay away from those. And it really kind of opens up that whole green. Anything on that right-hand side, there's a bunker protecting the left side of that green, so you have to stay middle right-hand side to have any kind of shot of getting on that green.
Now the hole location you and I are blessed to play is a tough one. It's back left, up on a tall ridge. Yes, I think you've got to play it out to the right, don't you?
You have to play it out to the right. You can't mess it around at all to the left or even short left, because then you get in that bunker. Anything short right is the play.
And have your putter tuned up, because you're going to need it. This is a difficult green to manage. And now let's take it home on 18. What are we facing?
18, great hole, great finishing hole, tough finishing hole, I think. Need to stay away from the left again guarded by bunkers. There's a bunker out there to the right that, there's not a whole lot of trouble up toward the green, but if we get it in the fairway, we'll have a lot better shot at it.
Well, as we wrap things up, Chris, I've learned a valuable lesson. That is, never wager my own putting skills against those of a highly trained PGA professionals, and let the record indicate that I am a man of my word. Bring it on in here. It is time for some Ruthie's Delight as we close out this program with the best dessert in the world of golf. And Chris, as you dig in and enjoy yours, I want to take just a quick moment, thank you, to remind all of you that it's now time to come to Arcadia Bluffs and set up now 18 holes on the Bluffs course, stay overnight, and play the South Course. You are in for 2 different but very excellent golf experiences.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We'll see you up here at Arcadia. Make sure you have Ruthie's Delight. Thanks for watching.